Studies on creativity show that fear of evaluation is one of the biggest blockers of creative flow, even more than a lack of ideas or talent. And that evaluation doesn't just come from other people. For many of us, it's that inner critic, part of us that questions, judges, or tries to get it right before we even begin. And when that voice is active, the nervous system often shifts into protection. So the body tightens, the mind hesitates. So creativity starts to feel stuck, forced, or even unsafe. In this EFT tapping practice, we'll address any fear, perfectionism, or resistance, and not by pushing through it. Instead, we'll work with the nervous system to release any internal pressure that specifically blocks creative flow. This tapping sequence is designed to release any creative anxiety, self-judgment, or release the fear of beginning, so our nervous system can feel safe enough to start creating again. And as the stress response settles, creativity doesn't have to be forced. It actually becomes more accessible, more stable, and more authentic. This is about reclaiming creative courage, and not by being fearless, but by feeling supported enough to begin. Before we begin, if you want more gentle ways to support your nervous system and your creativity, use my Reset Your Nervous System Starter Kit. I have linked in the description. And if you're new here, you haven't yet, and you appreciate what I'm sharing here, please subscribe to help me grow the channel so I can have control over ads and keep them out of the practices that I'm sharing here. So let's begin by first tapping through the EFT points. If you're new to EFT, you can take this as your introduction to the points. And if you aren't new to EFT, take this as an opportunity to begin grounding into your body. You get benefits from tapping the points even without the cognitive aspects that we bring in with the language into the EFT practice. All right, so let's start by tapping the outside of the hands against each other, or the karate chop point. And as you're doing this, if you're familiar with the points, you can close your eyes, letting your weight settle in, letting yourself soften. And now let's tap the inside of the eyebrows. So tapping with the index fingers and middle fingers. And you can tap one side of the body or both sides at the same time. It's up to you. Feeling the forehead relax, the eyebrows relax. And now tapping to the outside of the eye, or the bone just to the outside of the eyes. Letting the temples relax. And now tapping the bone underneath the eyes. Letting the cheeks relax. Here I feel the neck relax. And now tapping under the nose. And just the center of your top lip. Letting the lips, the mouth, the tongue relax. And then tapping into the divot of the chin. Again, feeling the neck, the shoulders relax. And then tapping underneath the collarbones. Again, you can tap one or both sides. The acupoints are on both sides of the body. And then tapping underneath the arm. So on the brow line, about 4 to 5 inches under the arm on the side ribs. And then finishing by tapping the top of the head, the crown of the head, and letting your head meet your fingers as you tap. So you get this nice elongation of the spine. And so the head can be light at the top of the spine. And now you can let your hands relax down. If your eyes aren't closed yet, close your eyes. And let's move into the EFT practice. As we start, you can name what feels most blocked right now. Perhaps it's starting, finishing, trusting, or expressing, just as some examples. And let yourself feel into that blockage. On a scale of 1 to 10, rate the intensity of the blockage you feel right now. Now let that rest. And if at any point through this practice you want a visual guide for the tapping points, use the diagram on the screen. And begin by tapping on the karate chop point and repeating after me. Even though a part of me feels blocked, hesitant, or unsure about creating, I can acknowledge that this is here right now. And I love and accept myself through this process. Even though there may be fear, pressure, or self-judgment present, I don't need to change it. And I love myself no matter what. Even though something in me might be protecting against starting or being seen, I can allow this moment to be exactly as it is and love and accept myself as I open. Allowing myself to feel more safety within. Tapping on the eyebrow, this pressure to get it right before I even begin. Side of the eye, the fear of starting and not knowing where it will lead. Under the eye, this tightness around creating that lives in my body. Under the nose, feeling blocked or uninspired, like something is stuck. Chin, the inner critic evaluating everything. Before my creativity even has a chance to breathe. Collarbone, all of this resistance in my system. Trying to manage uncertainty. Under the arm, trying to protect myself from disappointment or judgment. Top of the head, this stuck creative energy doing its best to keep me safe. Eyebrow, maybe this block is protection, not failure. Side of the eye, my system learned this for a reason. And it makes sense. Under the eye, I don't have to force creativity to prove anything. Under the nose, I'm allowed to move in my own time, at my own pace. Chin, I can meet this moment gently, without fixing it. Collarbone, I'm letting my body soften. Even just a little bit. Under the arm, releasing some of this pressure that I've been carrying. Top of the head, creating a bit more space inside my system. eyebrow, opening to creative flow in a way that feels safe. Side of the eye, letting inspiration return without forcing it. Under the eye, trusting my timing and my rhythm. Under the nose, I don't need perfection to begin. Chin, choosing curiosity over self-judgment. Collarbone, allowing creative courage to build naturally. Under the arm, feeling supported from the inside. Top of the head, reconnecting to creative flow, one gentle step at a time. Let your arms rest down and take a slow breath in and a longer exhale. And notice what your body feels now. Not looking for any dramatic change, just any subtle softening, warmth, or sense of ease. And let yourself feel back into the blockage from the beginning of the practice. And on that scale of 1 to 10, rate the intensity of that blockage now. Creative flow doesn't come from pushing harder. It really comes from feeling safe enough to begin. So you can return to this practice anytime fear, resistance, or the inner critic shows up, or even right now to bring that score down. And if you'd like more support, you'll find the Nervous System Reset Starter Kit that I have linked in the description. Let me know how this practice landed for you in the comments, and subscribe to receive the practices that I'm sharing every week here. Thanks so much for taking this time to be present with yourself, present with your body, present with your breath, and thanks for practicing with me. I'll see you in the next video.